I love all times of the year here. I mean, I love it in the spring when the weather's finally getting warmer and you can feel the anticipation of summer, but it's not too crazy yet. I love the fall when, everybody's gone and we get the beaches back to ourselves. But the summer is fantastic too, because that's how our town lives. It's how we get to thrive, is we need the people visiting here. And I love the people who come to appreciate our home because it's beautiful.
Hi, and welcome to Chatham Coffee Tour. Today I have my guest Connie LaMotte, who is also my niece. And Connie lives in Chatham. She grew up in Chatham. She lives here now year-round with her 10-year-old daughter. Connie is an avid reader. She works in a bookstore, and she's also a florist-ish. Is that the good way to describe it, as a florist,
I
or?
would say so, yeah. We'll go with florist.
Okay, we'll go with florist. We can start with that. So welcome, Connie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I love having you here. All right. So florist is not the right word, but let's just give a little background. Connie worked for what, like 10 years with Patrice? How long did you work?
Yeah, it was about like 6 years, I would say. So a long
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
a long time with Patrice Millie. And Patrice Millie was really exquisite custom floral uh, company. She had her own business, and she did weddings and high-end businesses. She did my own wedding years ago, and she gave the business over to Connie. Connie did a few weddings, and she did them very custom. And now tell us what you're going to do with the flower business now.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I did a few weddings, as you mentioned, and then I started thinking about this idea of like a flower subscription service because I love, like, flowers bring me so much joy. I have them in my home all the time, and I would love to share that with the community, and especially in a place like Chatham where people are coming in, they want to see the hydrangeas, they're staying in the homes, they're in rentals, they have summer houses here. And so I kind of merged the two ideas together of a subscription service, um, and floral arrangements. And so my business, Wilderwood Florals, is a seasonal floral subscription service geared towards summer houses and vacation rentals. But honestly, anybody who loves flowers, um, it's for anybody who loves flowers to enjoy.
I love that. So you can sign up for, so you said seasonal, so it's going to be basically July and August,
Yeah,
June, July, August,
yeah.
something like
The
that.
season runs June, July, and August, and you can either sign up on like a monthly basis. You could sign up for just June or just August, depending on when you're here. Or there's an option to sign up for the full season.
Oh, I think that's so fun. I mean, who doesn't love fresh flowers? And your bouquets are so beautiful, and your arrangements. I put some on my Instagram, and I get a lot of good comments about them. How do you, like, I was thinking about towards a wedding. So you meet with the bride, and this is probably going to be a similar process for somebody, well, maybe not for the subscription service, but when you meet with a bride and they probably have, mostly it's a color thing. Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They have color schemes that these are my wedding colors. What flowers work within that scheme and what looks good together. Yeah.
And then what do you do from there?
Well, I ask, I try to find the flowers that match their color scheme. A lot of times, inspiration photos too, I'll ask for, like maybe create a Pinterest board, just to get the feel of what they're looking for. And then from there, I just kind of add what I think is good, what I think would look good together. I'll create a proposal for them, and we just start working with each other like that. Yeah, but Yeah, but for my new business though, I actually have like a set um arrangement tier, and so it's all like they're all already designed. So for this first season, they all will be blue hydrangeas, white roses, like the typical flowers that you think of when you think of the Cape. Um, and that just kind of streamlines the process for me of, you know, everybody's getting this Cape Cod arrangement as opposed to individually everybody is getting something different, because that would just make it a little bit more difficult, just starting out anyway, you know.
So you're really going to go with like the colors of the season and the colors of the area. So with hydrangeas, just because I know they're out like June 15th through July 15th here, but can you get them all summer long? I mean, from your vendors, or how does that work?
Yep. I have a floral, like a wholesale vendor that I use out of Cranston, Rhode Island. They're so amazing. I know Patrice used them as well. And so they remember Patrice, and I have the same guy who I talk to, which is so fun. But we can get hydrangeas out of, I think it's out of Holland maybe, or South America, that they'll bring them in, but locally in season. But once we get into, you know, later in August, when it might not be as seasonal, there is still, I can still get them.
Was that the most like requested flower? I would think that is probably very Cape Cod.
Yeah. Um, in doing all of the weddings, pretty much every wedding I've ever done has had hydrangeas in some way, whether it's pink, white, or blue. That is, when you're getting married on the Cape, that's kind of what you're looking for.
Is a good, yeah, display of hydrangeas. And then what else? What else are your favorite local flowers that you like to use?
I love to use roses. They just smell so good. They're so beautiful. They're, you know, a classic. But I also love delphinium, which is kind of like a taller spray of flowers. They're usually light blue. They look so pretty with hydrangeas. And then I will say Queen Anne's lace, I think, is really nice, and it's very kind of whimsical almost, and it definitely grows here um, all the time. I think it's even maybe technically a weed, but they're so beautiful. So
And they softened it a little bit with the Queen Anne's lace, I
they
think,
do.
right?
Yeah,
It's
they do.
a little softer. Oh, that's neat. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that subscription. Yes, I
Yeah.
think that will be a nice part of your business, because the other thing is you work locally at where the sidewalk ends, and you're an avid reader.
Yes. Those are both true. Yeah.
Yeah, she's also founded a family book club that we've all been reading the same book, which has
Yep.
been really fun. Um, what are your favorite recent reads? Anything good? One or two?
Yeah, so I just finished a book. It's not out yet. So at the bookstore, we get these things called ARCs, which are advanced reader copies. That means they're, you know, it's essentially a finished version of a book, but um, they are sent to bookstores so we can read them ahead of time and then have recommendations for when the book launches. So I just finished an arc called Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt by Ben Reeves. It's his debut novel. He's from England, and it was fantastic.
Oh, good. I'll have to put that on the list. And where do you like to read? Like if you're in this, do you like to read at home? And are you a book reader or a e-reader or an Audible? What do you like to do for book reading?
I like to just read the book. I feel like when I'm trying to listen on audio, I space out. So I just feel like I can't focus that much, or I have to like rewind it a few times. So I definitely just like to hold a book. And typically my reading hours is, you know, after I get home from work, after I've had dinner, maybe like 30 minutes to an hour before bed is I'll get really into reading. Or, you know, at the beach in the summer is a lovely time to read as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I do like reading at the beach in the summer. I have a hard time doing it though because we usually clump with so many people that it's hard it's hard to find quiet time. And I do like the Audible books as well. I think it depends how good the story is. And how much alone time. If I'm alone for a long drive, I love an audible because I can really pay attention. But like you, if I'm driving around town, it's kind of harder to
Yep.
focus in on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe I'm just not reading the right book on Audible, and I just need to find the right one.
That's right. Because that's another thing about you. Connie has a condition called aplastic anemia. And because of that, it requires her to get specific blood testing in Boston. So you go up, how often do you go to Boston for testing?
Yeah, so right now I go every 3 weeks. Friday morning at like my appointments are usually around 7:30 or 8 a.m. So I'm up there. I get the testing done, the lab work, and then I just turn around and drive home. So that's
So what time do you leave the Cape?
um I try to leave around 6. 5:45 would probably be the best. I'm usually about like 15 minutes late. But I like 6 is usually the earliest that I leave. Um, it's a long drive, but it's just what I have to do living on the Cape.
And you get back, you leave at 6 and you get back at what time?
It depends on like if there's traffic. I've found that it kind of fluctuates actually. So sometimes, and it also depends on how busy they are there. Like sometimes I'm waiting, 45 minutes to get in and see my doctor, and sometimes I'm like, woo, it takes 5 minutes from the time I park to like get in there. So I would say usually I'm back around 11.
Wow, that is a big commitment and every 3 weeks. But the good news is probably you have fabulous doctors. I mean, this is a very rare condition, correct?
Yeah, it is rare, and that's why I go to Boston. That's where all of my doctors are. That's where I know they're efficient. They're going to get things done. They're not going to like, you know, miss anything. And not to say that Cape Cod doesn't also have amazing doctors and a fantastic healthcare um, system, but just, Boston is one of the top in the country. So I'm just lucky that I live, as close as I do.
So it's about it's about an hour and a half from the Cape or from Chatham up to Boston. So, and nice that you can get up there and get, if you need anything that your doctors are there, especially for something like this, such a specific illness. But you're doing pretty well, right?
Yes, yeah, I am.
That's the good news. And Connie just ran the a couple of weeks ago. Was it February?
Oh, no, it was January, the marathon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell what you did. It's kind of
It
crazy. I
is
mean, it's
crazy.
really
Yeah.
unbelievable that you did it.
Yeah.
It's 3 day race.
It's 4 days in Disney World. It's called the Goofy, or no, it's called the Dopey Challenge. So it's 4 days of running races in a row. First day is on Thursday, it's a 5K. Friday is a 10K. Saturday, half marathon. Sunday, full marathon.
And you had never done a marathon before.
I had never done a marathon. I had done a couple half marathons by that point, but I just thought it would be fun. I don't really know. Actually, here's the real thing. So every year those races are themed, and the theme for this year was "What's your stories?" So it was themed around like books and different genres of books. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna do one, it's obviously gonna be that one.
And you went in costume,
I
right?
did, yeah, I did.
That's so much
I know. I
fun.
ran. My mom did the whole 4 races with me, and then my daughter did the 10K. So we all dressed. Oh, actually, and then my brother did the half marathon. So yeah, we dressed up as characters from Peter Pan one day, and then my daughter and I dressed up as from Hercules.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was Meg and I was Pegasus. Like we, it was fun trying to think of all of the costumes to do.
That's a nice distraction. I think I mean, you talk about it being fun, but it seems to me like that's a lot of running, and that seems like you'd be sore for a week.
It was a lot of running. It was a lot of training, a lot of running. But honestly, being at Disney World, you don't really have time to just rest after the races because you're hitting the parks. So I feel like that actually lends a hand to your muscles stretching out after a race instead of like laying there and they, get all tense and sore.
Wait, so you ran all these every day and then you went and did the parks?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, we would, and the races have to start at like 5 a.m. because they want
In the
everything
parks.
done.
Yeah, and they start in the
Yeah,
parks.
so that the parks can open. So we're up at like honestly like 3 in the morning because you have to take a bus to get to the start place and then go through the corrals and everything and they start the race in waves. So we were like wave D. So we were like waiting. But yeah, so then after that we basically went back to the room, shower, change and just hit the parks.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I give you a lot of credit because this was a hard winter to do training outside.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. It was, and I'm not really like a treadmill runner. I've never been somebody who can do so many miles on the treadmill. So running outside in this winter specifically was not super fun, but worth it.
But you did it.
But I did it.
It's unbelievable. I know. And you grew up in Chatham, and your mom and I grew up in New York, right? So we summered here, but you and your generation of our kids are all year-round summer kids. So how has that been, and what is that like to look at Chatham through the eyes of someone who's grew up here, and then have sort of the influx of people coming to town that are only here for a few weeks, like because I was a summer person, so I never had I always thought that was great.
I mean, I tend to think it's great too. Love I love all times of the year here. I mean, I love it in the spring when the weather's finally getting warmer and you can feel the anticipation of summer, but it's not too crazy yet. I love the fall when, everybody's gone and we get the beaches back to ourselves. But the summer is fantastic too because that's how our town lives. It's how we get to thrive is we need the people visiting here and I love the people who come to appreciate our home because it's beautiful. I mean, I love pretty much, I mean, the winter is the only one where I'm like, especially this past winter. But I'm happy to have people here and wanting to be here. The one thing I'll say though is that just like the housing is getting difficult. And
For
for
people
people
to
who live
find a
here
place
year
to live.
round. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that
Right.
my family's here. I'm, renting my dad's house, which is nice. So, but I would love to see, younger families be able to be here like the way that I was and the way that your family was.
Yeah, to raise their kids here. Yes. And you have a daughter who's 10 and she keeps you active, I'm sure, with all of her soccer and all of her sports.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's got practice 4 days a week, games on Saturdays and Sundays. So she's a busy girl, and therefore so am I.
So are you. But other than having her with busy, when you have time off, how is it being year round as a young person on the Cape in the winter? In the summer, obviously, we all have lots to do outside, but in the winter, like what are the fun things? I know you have a really good group of friends. So what do you all like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the winter is usually my hibernation era. Like we go out, to whether it's to the Squire or to the woodshed or make the trek to the beachcomber in the summer. In the winter, I like to take a little bit of a pause, of a break. I'm not really wanting to go out when it's dark by the time I get off work at 5. So but I just joined or actually not just, I would say back in October, I joined a book club at the library, which has been really fun to just meet, a different crowd of people and talk about like-minded things, which has been really fun.
Oh, is that through the Eldridge Public Library?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And actually the girl who runs it, I went to high school with, Tori Eldridge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Joyce. I know her
We have a
mom. Yeah,
bookstore, yeah.
my brother. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so that's been really fun as well. just to connect with different people that I hadn't met. And, there's a couple who just moved here. And so, we're talking and then we go out to Pizza Shark after for some pizza. So that's been really
That's a great thing, and obviously right up in your wheelhouse. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. And how was it to go off to college? I know sometimes my kids would come home from college and they would be so grateful to come back to the beach. How is it to look at Cape from a different perspective? And you lived in Boston for a year.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. During COVID, actually, me and my daughter moved to Boston because the rent was cheap, and I was like, well, what else are we gonna do? um, it's always nice to come back home though, and there's just nothing quite like it. I can go away, and when I was in Boston, it was fun, but I feel like I was, back here at least once a weekend, once for a weekend each month, just because I can't stay away for that long, even in the winter. Just going and parking at the lighthouse and just looking at the beach is brings me peace.
I agree. And it's so fun at the lighthouse. I post a lot of pictures from the lighthouse, which I feel sometimes is a little redundant, but it changes so much.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the beach, the way it is now, isn't the way it was when I was 5 or 12 or
Right? Or when I was 5 either, right? It's so different. But also the weather changes, and then a storm, it's so cool, and on a serene, sunny day, it's also cool. So I like that too. And where is your secret place? Where do you like to go, sort of to know that you can get away and yet have a little bit of serenity?
One of my favorite places in Chatham is walking the trail to the Hardings to Stage Harbor Light. You park at Hardings Beach and you walk the beach path all the way to the lighthouse. Once you get to the lighthouse, you just feel so remote almost, but not, because you can see the harbor and you can see the boats going in and out, and maybe you pass by somebody on your walk, but it just feels like it's so like the calm that washes over me once I get out there, and the waves aren't too crazy in the harbor. So it's just the most peaceful place, and it's one I try to get to every few weeks.
I love it there too. And one of the things I like the most about that walk is the elevation changes just a little. There's a little bit of a hill in the middle, and when you get up high, you can see all the way down to Harwichport, and then you can see into Stage Harbor Road, into Stage Harbor, not the road, and Nantucket Sound, and out to Monomoy, and I love it.
It's beautiful. You get up to like that hill, and then you can do like a 360, and the views, no matter which way you're facing, are gorgeous.
And it's a nice walk too. It's about like 20 minutes usually, or
Yeah.
30 minutes, depending on, it's not very
So
long.
it's not bad. Not long, not bad. It's I bring my dog when it's in season too, Layla. So I'll have a ball, and I'll just throw the ball to her. She'll run and get it, and I'll just keep walking. It's great.
Yeah, that's one of my dog. Her middle name was Harding because we used to love to take her to
Really? Oh, I
Harding's
knew that.
Beach. Did you know that,
No,
Pippa?
that's so
Yeah. Her name was, yeah, and she, even from when she was a little puppy, and she would just go running out. And off season, obviously, you can't bring a dog on in season in Harding's Beach, but in the winter, that's one of the perks of being here year round, right? Going on good beach dog walks without worrying. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, Connie, thank you. It's been a pleasure to talk to you off, family things.
Thank you so much
So,
for having me. This has been so fun.
yeah, it's great. And I hope, people can see that there are year-round people in town that work and are part of the community. And I love, especially the book club. I love all the things you're doing in town, and look forward to your flower business, Wilderwood
Yes, thank you
Florals.
so much. Yeah, Wilderwood Florals on Instagram if you want to check it out.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's great. I've been the beneficiary of quite a few beautiful arrangements, so I appreciate that.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you and have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
For more local stories, favorite spots, and inspiring people who chose Chatham, follow and subscribe to Chatham Coffee Tour and stay connected. Whether you're already here or dreaming about life in Chatham, this is your place to belong.